Hi guys, I am a day late with this and I apologize. Um, this one is probably going to be emotional for some people. I'm going to go a little deep today because it has to do with death. More specifically, it has to do with the death of a loved one. Now, again, those of you that know my story, um, you know that I have been through an awful lot of life. And in fact, I wrote a book about it. I'm going to put it up right here because I know there's some people who've been asking. It's called Grow Through What You Go Through, because I do think that we do grow when we go through things. And some of us grow into a better version, some of us grow into a not so better version. But the book's called Grow Through What You Go Through. It's available on Amazon.com. If you would like a copy of the book, it makes a great Christmas gift. I will sign it. Just send me an email, jasoncapson@gmail.com, and I will sign it to you and mail it out to you. And it's $20 for the book. So, or you can go get it on Amazon, whichever one you prefer. The book goes in deep on these things. But this past weekend, I talked about this in my podcast. This past weekend was emotional for me. My oldest daughter, Janika, at the age of 25, was dancing for her last time. Now, last time. She's been struggling. She had a knee injury. My daughter, Janika, danced from the age of 3 until into university. So she danced her whole life. A very accomplished dancer. Got accepted into the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, the Chicago Ballet, won a trip to Paris for dance, danced in front of sold out audiences for years, and then was competing in a competition at university and blew her knee and had to have knee surgery and hasn't really recovered from that since. So in preparation for this dance that she did this weekend, her knee got swollen and she just is having issues with that knee. So she's retiring from dance. What makes it emotional is the fact that her young sister at 11 years of age was also dancing in the show. And in fact, she was dancing beside her in a dance that she choreographed. So it was very emotional for me watching my youngest daughter dance with my oldest daughter, and in a dance that my oldest daughter helped to choreograph in what could be her final dance. But what hits home even more, what made it even more emotional, is the fact I couldn't get my mom out of my head. I couldn't get my mother out of my head. My mother died of ovarian cancer a few years ago, and I was very lucky, very, very lucky to have had the gift of being able to spend the last 33 days of her life with her every single day at the hospital. I was there. I was with her when she took her last breath. I was with her through all of the pain, through all of the suffering. We had some incredible conversations, and as painful as it was, I would not trade it for the world. The lesson that I learned from that, and as I've helped a lot of people over the years, and as I'm very observant of people and people's behaviors, and we do live in a world, unfortunately, where people are very uncomfortable being uncomfortable. People are very uncomfortable feeling feelings. And as a rule, they turn to drugs or alcohol or food or a number of different things to numb the pain or to bury the pain. And I can tell you from my experience, and I'm not suggesting that you do this, because I would never suggest that anyone do what I do or that anyone's pain is less than mine was. Everybody handles pain differently, and everybody handles trauma differently, and everyone deals with life a little bit differently. But I do know for a fact that if you suppress your feelings, if you suppress your anger and your fear and your sorrow and your pain, it does come out in other ways. Whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's a year, 10 years from now, it's going to come out one way or another. We can only suppress it for so long, and it comes out in ugly ways. And unfortunately, there seems to be more and more of that. There's less people that are willing to feel the pain and feel those feelings and allow themselves to feel actual pain and anger and sorrow. It's okay to be angry. I was angry. It's okay to be mad. I was mad. I was sad. I cried. And it took a long time for me to get over it. But I let the feelings out. I allowed myself to feel those feelings. I didn't suppress them. I didn't turn to drugs or to alcohol or to food. I allowed myself to feel those feelings. And in doing so, it builds up an armor. It builds up a shield. It builds up strength so that other things in life that come at you, because life's going to come at you, trust me when I tell you that. There's a reason that a lot of people can't handle anything in life. I know I deal with those people every single day. I deal with people every day of my life. My mission in life is to help people unleash the best version of themselves. My mission in life is to help people realize their true potential. You cannot and never ever will realize your true potential if you're burying your feelings. You're never going to be the person you're meant to be if you are burying your emotions with drugs and with alcohol. It's never going to happen. You have to feel the feelings to truly become the best version of yourself. Because if you don't, when things hit you in life, you're not going to be able to handle anything. And I see that today. I see that a lot today. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone else. I'm not. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm telling you that the way that I felt and how I allowed those emotions to be real, and how I dealt with those emotions and how I felt them all to my core, it allowed me to handle life better. It allowed me to handle other things in life a lot better. Feel the feelings. So as I was sitting there, and I was thinking to myself, man, Mom would have loved to have been here. My mother would have loved to see her grandchildren, her granddaughters on that stage dancing like that. And I got teary-eyed. I teared up. I got emotional. And then for an instant, I started to think, Christmas time, there's a lot of people that don't enjoy Christmas. And they get sad because the memories come flooding back. And I thought to myself, you know what? My mother loved Christmas. And now I got to go through Christmas without her. And man, this is not going to be a good Christmas. And then I got to thinking to myself, I snapped out of that in a hurry, because luckily I had someone sitting right beside me who loves Christmas as much as my mother did. And thank God for Julie, because the things that my mother loved about Christmas, so does she. And the things that my mother got excited about at Christmas time, so does she. So now, instead of thinking my mom's not here, it's going to be a horrible Christmas, I think to myself, I'm going to celebrate the things that my mother loved. In fact, I'm going to try to take it over the top. I'm going to try to be even more than my mother. By the way, my mother, our house looked like the Griswold. You could not fit more decorations inside a house. It looked like the Griswolds on the outside, throw up on the inside. There was decorations everywhere. The tree was decked. It was a different theme every year. There was presents out to the other room. There was food. It was a real Christmas. My mother dressed up as Mrs. Claus every year. Christmas was huge. And for a second, I started to feel that. And I started to feel a little twinge, a little ting of pain again. And I felt it. And for a second, I let my mind go to a negative place. I let my mind go to a place where it was, my mom can't be here. I'm going to be sad. And then I snapped out of it and I thought, no, my mother would beat me if she thought for a second that I was sad at Christmas time. She would want me to celebrate Christmas in a big way. And luckily, like I said, I've got somebody that's going to help me with that. And no, I'm not going to be sad. I think to myself, my mother's looking down and she saw the girls dancing and she wants those girls to have an amazing Christmas, and it's up to me to help that happen, help make that happen. And I want to bring joy to everybody around me. Find the joy even in the sad. Find the joy even in the negative. Find the joy even in the bad. Find the silver lining. I'm the silver lining guy. That's what I've always done. Everything in my life that has happened to me, I have found the positive message in it. Sometimes it's hard. I had to do a lot of digging. Took me a couple years to figure it out. But now I've realized I went through those things so that I could help more people. I went through those things so that I could have empathy and sit with people and talk with people and tell them about my experiences. And maybe something with my experience will connect with them. Maybe there's someone listening to this right now that's suffering just the way I was. Maybe you've suffered a loss of a loved one. And I can tell you for a fact, you never forget them. But what happens magically, if you allow it, my thoughts of my brother, of my daughter, of my son, of my mother, of my brother-in-law, my thoughts of all the people that have passed before me, I think of the good things. I think of the happy times we shared together. I don't think about my mother as she lay in that bed dying. I think about the times that she was funny. I think about the times that she would dance. I think about the times that she made jokes. My mother was she was a very serious human, intense. But man, she loved to have fun. And holidays and anniversaries and birthdays, they were celebrated. That's what I remember. When I think of my brother, I think of how awesome he was and how smart he was and how driven he was and how focused he was. And I take that and I want to grow those skills and those attributes and I want to be more like him. So that's what I think about. I think about holding that little baby girl in my arms and looking at her for her entire life and how beautiful that was. And how blessed I was to have been able to hold my baby girl for her entire life. That's a gift. I find the silver linings because I have to. I find the silver linings because I don't want to think about nothing but the negative and go down that path. It's too easy. It takes work to stay positive. It takes work to stay focused. It takes work to look at the bright side. It takes work to think of the silver lining. It takes work to do that. It's too easy to go down into the darkness. It's easy to do that. You just got to be like everyone else. Don't be like everyone else. When you think of a loved one that you have lost, think about the amazing person they were. Think about the laughter. Think about the jokes. Think about the fun. Think about those amazing good memories. And let that lift you up, lift your spirit up. Let that happen. Feel the feelings. When you think about someone who has passed, think about the amazing person they were and the amazing gift that you had to have known them, the gift that you have to have had that person in your life. Think about the amazing person they were and how much better you are because of that. Let that lift you up. Let that resonate inside of you and let that shine through. And maybe help other people. Help other people get through it. That's the gift. That's why I went through. Grow through what you go through. That's why I named the book that. There's the book. You want it, click on the link, and I'd be happy to send you one. Send me an email. So I got a lot of videos up, and I want to thank everybody for subscribing to this YouTube channel. And I thank you for tuning in and listening to my rants. I've lived a lot of life, and I want to share it with as many people as I possibly can. I want to share the life lessons with as many people as I possibly can. If you enjoy this, please like below, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and share this with someone else. If you think someone else can get something out of this, please share it with others. Get them to subscribe. I would be forever grateful. Thanks, guys. Take care.